right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out here in the National Forest and we're looking for some natural resources, some firewood. I'm gonna see about splitting with this 4.5 pound double bit. Haven't used this yet. Haven't used this 6 pound Collins Maul. So we're gonna do half a cord with this Maul and then half a cord with the Council Tools 5 pound splitter. And of course, we got the 500i out. All of the low-hanging fruit has already been picked, so we got to get down in the, you know, the 60, 100-foot range off the road here and look for stuff like this right here. We got a little cedar down. See how big this sucker is. Decent tree. And of course, we're always looking for burls. Look at that thing. That is giant. Holy crap. I'm gonna put a tape measure on that. That is huge. That's the biggest burl I've ever seen on an oak. Oh, look at this. Somebody, this is a chainsaw cut right there. Somebody cut a burl off of this, I'd bet 20 years ago, 30 years ago. And this is all grown back. Yeah, 88-inch diameter. 23 feet in circumference. Massive. One day, this thing's gonna fall down. I'll come back, I'll check this thing next year, in the year after, and the year after, and with any luck, it'll fall over, and then it'll be legal to cut. Ooh. All right, there's what we're looking for. All right, this guy looks pretty good. You know, it's up off the ground, and that's a really good sign that the moisture content is low because it's not wicking the moisture up from the ground. And with that, there's not going to be much rot, which these cedars don't rot much anyway. Ah, this is a nice one. Yeah. This guy's. All right, so we're gonna go after that big one. The snatch block and rope and choker. Guess we should cut it open first and see what it looks like. She's premium. Got a little pecky wood in there, but there's a little moisture to it, but it's not rotted. So I think I'm gonna hook a line to it and snatch it up the hill to that big pine right there. Well, that wasn't the best thing to happen, but this stuff's easy to fix, and look, there's nobody around, so dangerous, sure. Gotta do it though. All right, Man, this is a nice log. This thing's got to be 25 feet. So I was thinking about taking it up that way, just hooking my truck to the choker, but now I'm kind of thinking taking it that way because there's shade over there and I want to split this in the shade. All right, guys, so if you're wondering what incense cedar is, the Latin term is Calocedrus decurrin, something like that. But it was used back, you know, hundreds of years ago. The natives used it to make their bows for archery. And the main use today, as far as a forest product goes, is #2 pencils. So if you've ever, when you were a kid, sharpened that #2 pencil and you just smelled that really good cedar, it was likely incense cedar. This incense cedar, from what I understand, minus what the Chinese are doing, is the #1 go-to wood for pencils. You know, another thing that the natives used it for other than archery was this bark. They would do two things. One, on the inside of the bark, there's like a fiber you can make a rope or a twine out of. And then the other thing is they would use it for their shelters, right? Kind of like make a teepee or a wigwam or whatever. It's the #1 softwood here in the Sierra Nevada mountains for kindling fire. And if you're gonna have a fire out in the yard, it smells good, it pops, it crackles and pops a lot. So it's got some pretty cool qualities. It doesn't have a whole bunch of BTUs to it. But as far as a construction use goes though, it's, you know, obviously bug resistant, all that stuff, but cedar has a tremendous insulation value compared to a lot of other woods. It's the highest insulation value. This is what I'm excited about. So an old friend gave me the head, and it's a true temper perfect. Not a lot of information on this thing, but it's 4.5 pounds. It's phantom bevels. And then this summer, once I started my channel, everybody started giving me stuff. And my grandfather, he was one of the people that called me up and said, hey, come and get this stuff. So I got a few axes and some old tools, old pocket knife, old hunting knife, some really old fishing lures and stuff. Anyway, long story short, this old handle is in excellent condition. So I had pulled that off of a head and I put it on this guy. So this is my most proud double bit that I own. So I'm gonna take a few swipes with it. I don't want to damage the handle, and I'm gonna take it easy on it and get a little dirt on it and see how she does. I haven't even sharpened it. This is the edge that was on it when I got it. So let's get to it. 4.5 pound double bit versus Incense Cedar. Well, this stuff is easy splitting. I'll just say that right now. At least that round was easy splitting. And right off the bat, I nicked the handle, and I think that's the only round I'm going to do with this for now. I really don't want to mess up this handle. So, and as far as splitting with a double bit, if it's easy like this, I'll do it. All right, so we've got a pretty decent line of some nice rounds, and we're gonna go round for round with the 5 pound splitter from Council Tools and this 6 pound Collins splitting maul. So I got a feeling, I'm just gonna say right now, I think that the win is gonna go to the 5 pound splitter, only because after splitting that with a double bit and how easy it was, I don't think I'm gonna have the issue that I've been having with the 5 pound splitter, just getting stuck and fighting to get it out of the round. I think that it's just gonna one hit KO, split it right in half, and that lighter head is gonna be easier to swing than the extra pound on the maul. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna start with a 5 pound splitter. Get going. All right, this is exactly what the 5 pound splitter is made for. Honestly, this kind of stuff, 3.5 pound high center line felling axe would do good. So, all right, next up, the 6 pound Collins. So it's only 1 pound, but I can feel the difference. And starting off in that round, I know I got into a knot, and that's why I didn't pop it right in half the first go. So we'll go back to the 5 pound splitter. So we got a new tree, and it's a little smaller, but it's got a lot more knots in it. So we'll see which one takes the cake here in a second. Once I'm done splitting this and get it loaded, we'll do a full side-by-side comparison of basically what my opinion is after this round of cutting. Yeah. Come on. All right, guys, the comparison time. So I'm almost certain that this is an older, I don't know how old, Collins 6-pound splitting maul. I could be wrong. It is stamped made in the USA. Anyway, I'm liking this. I think for splitting a bigger round in half or quartering rounds, this is definitely a way to go. I do feel like, I think this is about 35 degrees if I remember correctly checking it. I do feel like this gets stuck a little bit. It doesn't pop back out of it. What I don't like about the Maul compared to the 5-pound splitter is when a firewood round is down on its side and you're just, you're just going ham on it, it's a little too heavy. It's a little too much. It can be done. I was doing it, but if you're going to be splitting, like I said, just going crazy splitting horizontal, 5-pound splitter does well. It's still a little heavy for this really soft cedar. I do think that a 3.5-pound to a 4-pound would be a little bit nicer when you're dealing with stuff that's already been quartered. So the split maul takes the cake on quartering, splitting in half. But after that, this wasn't sticking like the last video I did splitting cedar. It wasn't sticking, it was just popping it right open, which is how it should be. I've been splitting into the dirt, not on a splitting round, and I've hit steel with this, I'm hitting rocks, I'm getting in the dirt, and obviously for a splitting axe it doesn't have to be razor sharp. And I've got a couple you know, a couple little chips in it. That's to be expected. I'm getting a lot of strikes on the handle right here, and I'm not seeing any damage yet. Now, if you don't want to rehandle your axe, don't split how I'm splitting. This thing's gonna break. You know, if I get I'm almost at 2 cords with it. If I get, you know, 2 more cords out of this before the handle splits, I'm good with that. I got another one sitting in the shop. I think a really good comparison for this axe would be, I believe Council Tools has a 4-pound Dayton that they put on like their miner's axe, faller's axe type thing. So I don't know if you can get that in a straight 36-inch handle. Could always cut the handle off and put a 36 on it. So I'm digging it. I'm gonna do another video showing some of the things that I want to change about this axe, and give a little bit more insight into it. But with that being said, today what takes the cake is a 5-pound splitter. It did almost as good as the Maul splitting in half, but once it's split in half, like I said, it's a lot easier to work with than that 6 pounds. No, that extra pound may not seem like a lot. It is. One more thing to touch on with this. What I noticed is once I have a round split in half, and now I'm working it into little pie slices. Go. This didn't seem to blast the firewood apart as much as when I'm hitting it with this. If they both fall on the ground, this 6-pound Maul seemed to leave stuff standing up straight a little bit better. And that's nice to not have to bend over or go ham and just start hitting horizontally, which is dangerous. You know, it's dangerous. So I almost took out the 500. I was not paying attention, and I just swung and almost hit the 500 when the axe went through the round and just, I don't know, missed it by 6-8 inches. Yeah, with that being said, 5-pound splitter takes the cake on the cedar. 6-pound Maul has its place. I think it's on a little bit harder wood, a little bit more knots. I don't normally split oak with a Maul or an axe. We use a wood splitter for that. But I think I'm going to do another video before I do a full breakdown on this in the shop and make some changes to it to how I want it. Bevel geometry, a little polishing, some things of the sort. But I think I'll do a video on some oak and put this to the test, because a lot of people aren't splitting Doug fir, red fir, spruces, and cedar. I mean, this Incense Cedar is as easy as it gets. I don't know of anything that splits easier than Incense Cedar, at least here in the Sierra Nevadas. So I know a lot of people, you're not splitting, you know, back east. I don't think there's a lot of softwood back there. A lot of you guys are splitting hardwood. So I think I'll put this to the test on some live oak, maybe some black oak, and see how it does to that. I might mess with the bevel geometry, the edge geometry a little bit before I do that, so it doesn't stick as much. We'll see. Anyway, almost got a cord, didn't make it. I think I'm about 20 cubic feet short. So that's all good. I was getting into some naughty stuff on the tips of those on that last log. Is what it is. Hope you guys have a good day. Hope this video was helpful to you, and I'll see you on the next one.